Happy New Year, and here are your new friends.
I tell you, Lou, the ink wasn't even dry on Representative Tlaib's election certificate before she was calling for impeachment. And I think this really highlights the sham the Democrats played on the American voter in the last election. They said this was going to be all about health care and prescription drug prices. And remember that, cracking down on the insurance companies. Well, they're not there to do any of that stuff. They're there because they hate Donald Trump. They are committed to his destruction, and they legitimately or illegitimately will take votes on impeachment.
And it's going to be one way or the other. If it does occur, it will be illegitimate and it will be baseless. But that hasn't stopped them yet, and the language that is being used by some. But frankly, there is also in all of this, I'd a lot rather hear some of this than any more from Paul Ryan and his leadership team. I mean, they became a very tiresome, orthodox, sluggish, amoeba-like organism that really was a blight on the Congress.
People ask me all the time, what's going to be the difference in the minority? And to a guy like me who likes to shake up the status quo, now at least the people who don't like me, who are in charge, are in the other party, not my own. But, it's my expectation that we're going to see these new Democrats all trying to out-crazy one another. Because in every blue district in America right now, they're getting phone calls saying, how come you haven't called for impeachment yet, like that Representative Tlaib has done? And so I think that for Democrats who actually came to Washington to get things done, they'll find it a tremendous challenge in this Ocasio-Cortez, Tlaib environment that seems to be more tilting towards sensationalized, crazy moments than actual substantive policy.
And they're just they've got a long ways to go in this 116th Congress. Do you miss anybody in the Republican conference? Is there just somebody you think we can't do without here in America?
Well, maybe we've got to bring Newt back to, get the ideas flowing again, Lou. But no, look, I think that we did lose some good conservatives in the last election, but leadership change allows us the opportunity to go recruit candidates that will ensure that the Republican Party is more in the image of President Trump. I think we had a lot of people who were part of the open borders, cheap labor constituency of the Republican Party.
Working for K Street. Well, I mean, most of them, it's going to be fascinating to see where Ryan ends up. But all of those folks, not all of them, but nearly all of the people, the Republicans, were rhinos. They should have been running as Democrats, for crying out loud, or simply as radicals who wanted to obstruct the president. People don't forget, it was the Republicans who stopped President Trump's wall, not the Democrats.
Well, and how proud we all are now to see our president out there fighting for the forgotten Americans who want to see rising wages, who want to see a secure border, and most importantly, safe streets.
What do you think of watching the Democratic leadership talking to the President of the United States in the White House and coming out and talking about bargaining national security? This is a man trying to protect the nation, protect American lives, and these characters want to negotiate. They want to bargain with national security. Well, it's outrageous.
And they're offering nothing. They voted against cracking down on sanctuary cities. They voted against E-Verify. They voted against the bills that would have allowed us to deport the criminal illegal aliens associated with MS-13 and other gangs. And so part of a willing negotiation is that we need to see what the Democrat plan is to secure the border. If it's not a physical barrier, Lou, I don't know what it's going to be, but we have seen a Democratic Party that is truly not serious. They're not serious in their conduct, in their discourse, and they're certainly not serious about securing the border.
Well, and I've got to raise this up one more time. Neither was that other fellow who was speaker.
Hey, it is a fair criticism that there are elements of the Republican leadership who prioritized tax cuts for lobbyists and big corporations over a secure border for the forgotten Americans, and we were judged by that in the midterms.
The next thing you're going to tell me that K Street is paying for the orientation of freshman legislators.
They are, Lou.
Oh,
that was one of my favorite things about Ocasio-Cortez is that every cycle, K Street essentially runs the new member orientation, and most of us, we're just trying to figure out how the phone works and how to get our mail. But Ocasio-Cortez, I'll give her credit. She said that we should not have lobbyists trying to teach new members how to govern. We ought to go there with our conviction and our principles. And even though her principles are dangerous for the country, at least she holds them sincerely, and it's not something that a special interest fed her.
Well, hallelujah, and good for the Congresswoman. And good for you. Always great to see you.